guys, how are you doing today? It is me, Brenda Ringe, Powerhouse Property Group, JPAR, the Sears Group, with It Is What It Is podcast. So today we've got another agent in the studio. It's our agent spotlight. His name is Herman. I want to welcome him here. I want you to give him a good warm welcome while you're at home. Do a little clap like this because Herman's here. What are you up to, bud?
Oh, not much. Just enjoying life right now. Enjoying life and enjoying being a father more than anything, honestly.
I know. We had your son.
Absolutely.
On, if any of y'all watched it, or if you go back to our YouTube channel for Powerhouse Property Group, look on for the Christmas one because that's where Nick is at. He's a cutie. And it was nice seeing all those kids. So, I mean, that got a lot of views of people watching these kids for Christmas. So,
majority of them may have come from me. I think I've seen it like 10 times. So.
Are you serious? Yeah. He's so cute and just so comfortable. You know what I mean?
Well, not just him. I saw it for the other kids that were there too. Everybody had such great things to say about either whether it was the parents or just their knowledge. When you tested them on their knowledge in real estate, that was good. That was good to see as well too. So
because they know some stuff. They pay attention, and it's funny when they're like, yeah, okay, whatever. They know, but it's just like my daughter. It's like, yeah, she knows, but okay. Some care, some don't. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So let's talk a little bit about you. Now, you've been in real estate for how long?
So I am, this January that just passed, I'm going into year 2 now.
Woo! Yeah, so this is a full year you've gotten under your belt.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yep.
So as I've mentioned this to everybody when we're talking about this, when you're a new agent, JPAR has you going to a mentorship program.
Absolutely.
What do you think about that program?
I love it. No complaints about it. I think from the initial beginning to actually going through the program, it's a great step in the way that it's presented. So when it was presented to me, and I still see it being presented to new agents the exact same way, it's hey, go out, you get introduced to these mentors through their bios, right?
Right.
You read, do your research, and you do your own due diligence, right?
Right.
I love the fact that your mentor isn't chosen for you. I love the fact that you get to choose, you get to interview them, they interview you, you see if you're a good fit.
Yes.
You ask them questions in regards, obviously, to their successes, their failures, see exactly how long they've been in the business, and obviously they ask you about your business, like, hey, what do you want to be known for? How do you want to grow your business?
Yep.
And they'll tell you, hey, I am a good fit for you, or no, you know what, I instead of being selfish, let me be selfless in this situation, and I think that you this other mentor may be a better fit for you.
Oh, I did that plenty of times because the reality, when I hear people say, I need a little bit structure, I need this or that, I'm not your girl. I mean, I'm just keeping it real.
Yeah.
I'm not. If I were structured, I don't know. I mean, I don't know what I'm really looking for in that word. It makes me sound like I'm bad and I don't got my crap together, but that's just not true. It's just I just know what I can give and what I can't, and I know I don't want to pretend that I'm all this structured and I got everything in place because I'm a very fly off the cuff of the hat. I mean, I'm just, what do you need?
Yeah.
And then a boom, 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 I go. And I love it when I meet agents that I get to learn from that are, a little bit more structured. There's plenty of mentees that I've had that, I've loved it because I've learned stuff from them and how they are and how they handle stuff. And they still stuck with me. So that was nice. Because it is. I mean, you get scared, and I believe it or not, you do. You're just like, I don't want to do somebody a disservice. But I've put plenty of people, it's like, I think that this person's going to be really good for you if you're looking, for this. And I've done that for Courtney, for Chris Brooks.
Yeah.
The same thing. I just I think that's going to be a better fit. I'm going to just be honest because I ain't always all there.
But I love that because some could look at it like, hey, you know what? That's that's food off of my plate if I pass this agent along, right? This mentee along. But however, like I said, we have such a good team, such selfless leaders, and when we talk about people, like people, that's what we have here, whether it's a client or whether it's for other agents. And I say that because obviously the example you gave right then and there, right? It's, instead of just looking at, hey, obviously I'm focusing on what I'm making and what I can get off of this agent as far as the splits. It's not, the money comes. Like the money comes and goes, right?
Yeah,
So if you do right by others, you get blessed back. That's
You
definitely
do.
that's
Exactly.
definitely true.
And that's what I love about this. So many people have that same philosophy, that belief, and I think that's what makes us such a really good group of people that Chris has really been able to be blessed with all of us that are
Yeah.
coming in, because I know he's grateful, but he sets that tone too.
Absolutely, yeah. It
You
definitely
know?
starts from the top. Yeah, I'll definitely say that. And man, he lives and breathes it every single day. And
Exactly.
obviously, the other leaders, the other mentors that we have, they're examples of it as well too. And another thing that I like, for example, if for any reason, my mentor wasn't available at that time, any other mentor is more than willing to step in.
Yep.
Yeah.
Exactly. And that's just kind of like, that's just what we do.
Yeah.
I mean, we just don't know how else to operate, So that's awesome to hear you feel that way and see that as well.
Well, it's needed, Brendan. If not, all right. So five transactions that we have to go through with your mentor, right?
Right.
I don't know. I wouldn't know how to write a contract fresh out of school. You
No.
you learn the basics of what to do
Yeah.
to not end up in jail. What's legal, what's illegal.
Yeah.
But when it comes to negotiation, writing these contracts, what needs to be filled, what doesn't need to be
Yep.
filled, things that apply to each transaction. So every transaction is very different.
Yes.
Obviously, depending on the client, on the property, depending on the loan product. The list goes on.
Yep.
We can sit up here and just check things off. Everything's different. But to have somebody, holding your hand, teaching you why, not just filling it out for you. No, seriously.
Yeah,
Yeah, like that's what it is. It is what it is.
It is. I know.
And actually telling you why this needs to go there, why this doesn't need to go there. I'm forever grateful. I
Yeah.
seriously am.
And it does, and it sticks with you. And it's like I tell people all the time, like we just now for the month of February, we had new changes on contracts, and making sure everybody kind of reads up on that, because things are constantly changing, and you want to understand, because that's what this whole thing is about. I mean, it's really that contract, and this is why I always tell people, just read it.
Yeah.
Read it, okay? Because sometimes it doesn't make sense.
True.
And sometimes there was a point where I felt like I really knew like each paragraph. Okay, if you go to this paragraph, that's what it means. And then if you go to the amendment and it tells you on there, and this is what you need to change on that one, because that's that paragraph. Yeah, I don't as much as I used to before, but I love the dot and T crossings, when you're looking at stuff like that.
Absolutely.
I really love to see that. And I love teaching that to people, because there's a lot of what I like to call lazy agent syndrome. And if we can teach, because we all teach differently, but if we're teaching the basic of what's real on that contract, however you can get to memorize it or understand it, that's what's important. And that's one thing I've always said to people is, I don't want you to leave anything blank, because in my head, then I might be thinking, well, did they not read that? So there's NAs.
Yeah.
Always put an NA. If you can get that in there, it's not applicable.
Absolutely.
I want to know. I remember, and I've loved it, because I have definitely had other agents, and I think this is the best compliment people can get, when another agent is telling you, oh, that's your paperwork was great, your offer was great, when they're telling you this, because we can be sloppy, because we think we're in a hurry and we got to do this and what needs to be right. But if you just really take the time to get everything in that paperwork and do it the first time, then you don't have to worry about it again until if there's a revision or whatever, but you get everything in there. And so that's what we try to, really try to teach people. Of course, it was a little bit different when it was so crazy and things were flying off the what's the word I want? They were just falling off the wall, right? You couldn't. You're just trying to get trying to get everything in there as quick as possible. But the reality of it is okay. Let's get this in. This is what you need. This is the basic of what you need. Boom, boom. Let's get that, and then we go from there. And if it offers accepted, then we get all this other stuff. But that's one of the things I always learned is get your paperwork up front, because as much as I like paperwork being perfect, I hate paperwork.
Yeah.
I hate uploading it. I hate this. I hate that. That's why you have to get you a transaction coordinator, because those things like that help you.
Absolutely.
But I don't want, for me, like with mentees, in my opinion, you don't need a transaction coordinator yet. Get out of mentorship, because you need to understand, you need to learn what is happening
Mm-hmm.
before you get somebody. Because like I said, some people, it's like, get one right away or do whatever, but you still need to understand what you're doing, because
Yeah, I
how else can
completely
you do
agree.
it? So that's what I love. So you love the mentorship program. Who was your mentor again, Brooke?
Chris Brooks.
Chris Brooks.
Yeah.
I'm going to get him in here one day. I've yet to get that boy in here, because I always tell him that he's so goofy.
He's still to get a hold to get a hold of. He only answers for his mentees. No, I'm
Well,
kidding.
no, he
I'm kidding.
he's so bad to me, because we all answer broker. We have a broker support line,
Yeah.
so we all answer at different times. And every time when I call him, well, like the other day, not every time, but when I called him the other day, he cracked me up, because I had a question just to verify what I had already told somebody. It's like, okay, I know I said it right, but I just want verification. So I called, and he's like, broker support. He answers it like that for me, because he knows I'm going to ask him a question.
Right, right.
I'm always going to him. He's one of my go-tos. So it's just so funny when you say he only answers for mentees. Well, that's why he answered, because he was broker support. He answered.
Oh man.
I'm one of his mentees. But no, I love it. I love the fact of what we have. So let's talk about that. So this January, it's been a full year, but what did you do before getting into real estate, and why real estate?
So prior to getting in real estate, corporate America, as a promise to my mother, I went to college. I got a degree. She had the idea that the degree was still, the paper itself still held so much like power, I guess you could say, that
Yeah.
you're going to get the job of your dreams and things of that nature.
Yeah.
Which wasn't the case. And so then I was always in operations, and I used that marketing degree to my advantage. I had a lot of executive marketing roles as well too.
Right.
Throughout that time, I just continue to say, hey, I'm here building somebody else's dream, and my dreams just continue to eat me alive. And it's the simple fact that I wanted to get into an entrepreneur role.
Right.
And this is a business. Not everybody knows that. When they think, oh, I'm just going to be an agent, and this is you are your own business. The moment you get that license,
Yeah.
you're your own business. Like
Yeah.
and that's where a lot of I think that there's still a disconnect between brokers and agents. Some brokers don't realize like that agent is a business, and they don't treat them like a business. They treat them like an employee still. So, we don't have that situation here.
No, we don't.
But yeah, corporate America. Like I said, operations. Man, like different type of businesses.
Yeah.
And it just I can say that the amount of time that I spent working, missed out on family,
Yep.
experiences, and now I'm just very grateful for this business. I'll say that I've been able to do so much with and for my family that,
Right.
despite the salary that I was making, that I gave up, that I sacrificed to go get a license and to come out and do what to do what I'm doing now, definitely worth it.
Yeah.
And even along that line, for example, so we talked about this being my first year. So my first year being full-time agent. I got my license. I held on to it for a while. Didn't do anything with it because I was still transitioning out of corporate America.
Right.
And in that time frame, obviously, if you're like, I was still taking classes, still learning, even after being licensed, to just know exactly what to do, how to hit the ground running. And then I made a decision that it's time to go full time. If you really want to truly grow this business, it's so hard to do it part time. It's not impossible,
Right.
but it's super hard. And if you really think that this is
Oh.
your calling, where you need to be,
Then you need to
go
do it.
all in.
Yeah.
That's my opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah. But what do I know?
No, I'm just kidding. I know. I mean, but that's true, and it's hard because you don't want to bust people's bubble. You don't want to tell them, hey, the reality is it is hard, but it's easy, right?
Yeah.
And it's easy in the sense that you're just talking to people. The hard part is remembering the follow-up. The hard part is putting them and saying, I got to put them in my CRM. I got to make sure that I have this set up to go do, because that's probably 80% of the agents that don't do it,
Yeah.
in my opinion. And I can say that because I was one of those. I just was.
Yeah.
In the very beginning, I mean, even though if you're taught certain things and do this, but none of it made sense. Okay, whatever. Yeah. I was just working, getting stuff happening, and then I wound up going into the corporate office of with Coldwell Banker, because I think I was just an agent full time before I went into an actual office for Caldwell at the relocation department. And that's really kind of where then my world took off with me. I got to learn something totally different, and I'm grateful for that, because that's really my niche right now. It's with relocation as an independent consultant for a couple of companies. But that's cool, and we all find that. And that's what we try to, just like you said. We know people are saying, "Well, what do you love? What is your thing? What is your passion?"
Yeah.
You know, how can you build that into what you're trying to create? And my passion is talking. I've been blessed that I have this platform to be able to do something that I'm backed by, Chris and Jen on doing this. You have a passion for your cars and things that you do. And, tell a little bit about that with the cars. I mean, and like how they actually, you go out and what are these things that we do and they support you?
When they sponsor the events.
Thank you.
So
Can't think.
So that just felt, man. I've taken so many risks on entrepreneur opportunities, right? I mean, the list goes on. What succeeded, what didn't succeed, and the hunger just while climbing the corporate ladder,
right?
The hunger just continued to be there. So this opportunity presented itself and allowed me to use again that degree that I promised mom and she made me go get. I'm like, okay, went and got it, used it to my advantage. I've always been a car enthusiast since growing as a kid. I believe it just came down from relatives. My uncle had body shops, so we're always constantly working on cars, doing this, so finding ways to make them faster.
Right.
Faster. Yeah, absolutely. It's if you pay for 180 on the dash, I'm planning on going 180. Like it's what you paid for. I didn't pay for 60 miles per hour, so that's just my opinion on that one too. But that's a topic for another day as well.
Okay. You just made me think about something, because you're talking about the speedometer. If it says 180, you want to go 180.
Yeah.
Okay, so what are these things that they put on these cars sometimes? What are they called?
The turbos, the NOS, what?
No, to keep it to not go that.
Oh, the governors.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
Do all cars have that?
No, not all cars. No, there's certain cars. I'm not sure if I want to talk down on any of those manufacturers at the moment, but there are some manufacturers that have those governors. Although it will say 140, 160 on there, maybe when you hit 107 or 120, like it literally forces the car to go down. You could have your foot
as much as you want, but it ain't gonna
on the
go.
accelerator. It won't go past it. It'll go back down another 15 miles per hour before going back up to that same spot that it'll go back down again.
But that's my whole question. Why even put that you're gonna go that hard, that you can go that fast, but then they put that thing on there?
That's a great question.
Why the heck do that?
I don't know. Let's take this to the manufacturing cycle.
It doesn't make sense to me at all. I mean,
it's a good. So I do know I've actually in the past to sales reps, GMs at dealerships, and it's a safety feature that they have. It can be removed. Now, do they remove it? Sometimes for the right, if they charge you for it, they do. And then obviously there's like third parties that can do it as well too.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay, sorry. Well, my little train in there. Okay, so go back to the sponsoring of that stuff. So you got into
so the hunger for entrepreneurship continue to be there, and I got involved. I always went to car events, but I would bring cars because they were able to be in a car show.
Yeah.
And I met a lot of people. So throughout that networking, just being a social person, social little butterfly. People ask me what did I do. Yeah. People ask me what did I do, and I tell them, hey, I do this type of marketing, and it's corporate America. So whether it's for dental, whether it's for pawn shops or anything like that, and they just continue to stay in touch. They asked me if I could help them build their car shows for them as far as growing it, making it a better experience, because that's what I was doing for brands. I was providing experiences for them to connect them with their target audience.
Right.
And I saw a business opportunity, made a business out of it. So now it started off that car shows, for whether it's for car clubs, dealerships, those were my clients, and still are. Some of them still are. And that's how I started. Now I'm in a position now where I focus more on doing it for other brands, whether it's a venue or a particular car club. I still do it, but I do it for their brand. I don't want to be the face of it.
Right.
I don't want my marketing company to be the face of it. When you look at Coca-Cola, any of these big, big brands, Walmart, you don't see who's the marketing force behind them. You just know their brand, and that's exactly what I do. So just provide an experience to bring and unite people with the passion for cars, whether it's speed, whether it's the aesthetics of the car, bring them together, and you'll see such a huge networking platform. You get people from so many different industries, all over the world that'll come for one specific car. If you're advertising a one in a lifetime, 1 out of 10 that's made in the world, people come just for that car.
Wow.
And the networking takes off from there. So in this case, when I got my license, I actually I guess you could say I'm somewhat retired. I stopped doing it because I was focusing on just the license. Both Chris Brooks and Chris Sears was just telling me, hey, if this is your passion, this is what you need to build your business around. So now where things have taken off to the point is where still hosting car events behind other brands, but the real estate is very, very, very present there. Or the fact that I'm an agent or the brokerage that I'm with. When I first met with Chris, I was very honest with him. I said, hey, I have a list of 9 different brokers I'm interviewing. And I was just very straight up front, and he was okay, no worries. So I told him what I do for a living at the particular moment. What are my passions? He asked me a lot of questions. What are my passions, things of that nature. And he told me, hey, I would want to support that particular business of yours. And he has not lied. He literally sponsors. When I say sponsor, I'm not just saying, oh, hey, I'm going to encourage you and clap for you and be your cheerleader. No, he financially supports the events. He's always encouraging me, seeing when's the next event, and letting me know telling me hey, this is how you could better position yourself in this event to be that choice of as an agent for those car enthusiasts, whether it's the car owners that are staging their cars, the venue, or any of the general public. And a lot. When I interviewed 9 different brokers, I gave them all the same idea. Hey, this is where I want to grow this business to. Cars. We talked about it as a passion, but nobody really just at the moment before signing the document, we're saying, hey, you're part of my team. He's already given me his vision and his idea and his expertise, and that obviously definitely gave me a reason to go with them. Another reason is the simple fact that out of 9 brokers, he's the only broker. The only actual business owner and a broker and your partner that actually spoke with me. Everybody else, it was whether it was operations managers or they were just too busy, I guess you could say. And Chris, as busy as he is, I know how big we're 420 plus agents. Yep. And he still takes the time to to answer questions for you, see if you're a good fit. And instead of just taking any single person that wants to say that say, hey, I have a license, please take me. He wants to make sure that he's the right fit for you and you. For
exactly. And that's what a lot of people don't realize. He meets everybody.
Absolutely. Yeah. Oh, he really does. I'm at the office every day, so I see him.
I know.
Or hear him.
That's his deal. He meets everybody.
Yeah.
And like you said, that says a lot. I've worked at a couple of other big brokerages. And if you're going to talk about the owners of those, were they there? No, you have managers. Now we get it, typical thing. Okay, that's just the normal hierarchy of things, right? But the fact is that even if he gets to a point where he has managers for different, he will make sure that he knows everybody. Absolutely. He will meet. He will be a part of that. He will have a conversation with you. And I mean, it's just because that's who he is.
Yeah.
And that's for us. I mean, like I tell people, you just have to experience. You just have to either get on a call, come meet him, because I can't explain it to you. It's either you fit or you don't, and it's okay if you don't. But at the end of the day, why wouldn't you if you think along the same lines? What was I going to say? So that's awesome. I mean, because I know I've been to one of y'all's little events that you had. I say little event, whatever. The one in Pearland or Arlington.
Oh, it's Angleton. That was at the racetrack.
Yeah, at the racetrack. Yeah. And see, this is what happens to me, and I think I turn off phones. And
you're fine.
My phone's always going. And I'm sorry, I probably should leave my phone outside of the studio, but you just never know. That's just whatever.
Could be an emergency. You never know.
Yeah, exactly. I make sure I do have a kid. So, but not only that, and like you said, one thing is that since you started, and let's be real about this. People get into a place and they don't jump in, right? Oh, I get in here, and then they don't make themselves available or they just don't get a part of anything.
Yeah.
You did. You know, you came into the office when you did, you made yourself visible, you are who you are, you're talking to people all the time. And that does not go unnoticed with people, right?
Oh, thank you.
I mean, because it's important. Because I ask people, well, do you get on the calls in the morning? Do you get involved? How much are you doing? Are you going? Yeah, going to the happy hours are great to be able to meet new agents, but go to do that. But also everybody, whoever you can, because you need to meet, who's another new agent that you can possibly, meet up with, and y'all are doing the same things.
Exactly.
and talking. I encourage all my mentees. Yeah, I've got several of them that are on different text groups with other agents that they met while they were going through in the beginning of schools, and then got recruited over here, whatever. I encourage that because you need that. In this business, you need to network with your people.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Because
completely agree.
we have to be able to vent. We have to be able to learn all these great things. I mean, and as you're mentioning, I can't help you with everything. I mean, I wish I could, but I don't know everything.
Yeah.
Gosh, I wish I had Chris's brain, I say all the time, but I don't know. So I was just going to say, so with that being said, you do spend your time at the office. You get to be there. You get to meet people. Like right now, you're even helping people when they come in, kind of showing them the office. I mean, how do you like all that? I mean, because you...
So I feel honored to be able to do any of that. And I say that because
Yes.
if we're keeping it real, both Jen and Chris do so much for us, right?
Yep.
Our mentors that we have do so much for us. A lot of things that behind the scenes, and I'm not going to get too far into it.
Right.
Reason being is because I could take a lot of time doing that so many of our agents don't know.
Exactly.
There's so much that goes on. There's meetings, there's planning, there's brainstorming, there's literally like successes and failures that are going on to make sure that there's such a solid, healthy and successful program.
Yep.
With the mentorship and just the business itself. So honestly, if we're keeping it real, this is not one decision that made me join JPAR the Sears Group, but the simple fact that we're 100% commission and all we're paying is a fee, like a flat fee for transaction. That's the least that I can do is just help out the little that I'm doing. That's the least that I can do.
Yeah.
And then honestly, it's more like a pride thing. Like, are you proud of where where your business is?
And we're grateful, like you said, because none of this would be here if we didn't have them.
Yeah. No, absolutely.
His vision, Jen's vision, we
Exactly.
wouldn't be there. And that's why I just always want to make sure that, and they know it, that we are grateful.
Mm-hmm.
That I'm happy, I'm blessed.
Yeah.
And like you said, there's just some of us that are it's just innate. We're built with it just to serve.
Yeah, no,
Because
absolutely.
That's the biggest thing in here, and that's what you do. You're a server. You step up and you do things, and
Well, thank you.
that's a
I
lot.
didn't realize that was what I was projecting and putting out there. But thank you.
Well, yeah, that's exactly what you're putting out, and that's why, like you said, things come back. Things are good. They feel comfortable and knowing that they can rely on you to say, "Hey, come sit up at the front." Hey, you can, to trust you with people coming through and knowing you're going to walk through and introduce to people. I mean,
Yeah.
think about that. I mean, that not everybody can be asked to do that if you don't show up.
Yeah.
You show up.
The thing is, I keep saying, like, what do you want your business to be known as? How successful do you want to be? That environment, that ecosystem that we have there.
Yep.
Just being there, you hear other successes and you're picking up on their energy.
Mm-hmm.
You see what mistakes are being made. Like, now hey, let's not make the same mistake if I'm ever in that situation.
Right.
There are situations where some of our agents their business is maybe a little bit too busy.
Mm-hmm.
You may be able to get a lead out of it right then and there. You may be able to partner on particular listings or properties or help them out with open houses. And if you're not there, you don't know.
You don't know.
You don't know.
Yep.
So and like I keep saying, like what I said before, if you're prideful of who you're partnered with and you're prideful of your business, why wouldn't you be present and show up?
Yeah.
And when people walk through that door, whether I take every opportunity. There's other agents that come in there that are partnered, their businesses with somebody else. Okay, cool. You're still gonna get this tour while you're here.
Yeah.
We're gonna let you know how things are over here, so you know that if you ever need a new home or anything like that, you already know what you're getting yourself into. Why?
Right.
Because from the moment you walked in, you were greeted, you were received, and the moment to the moment you stepped out, everything you were sent off with blessings. So it just comes from a servant heart. It's just with my spiritual belief. So
Yeah, exactly. And I think that's where a lot of us are at. It's the same thing. It's spiritually, that's where we're at. We all kind of meet in the middle with that.
Yeah.
Okay, so one last thing that I wanted to bring up. By the time this airs, you will have already been installed into the National Association of Hispanic Real Estate Professionals, NAREP, as
Houston chapter, to
the
be exact.
Houston chapter, as the membership. Right?
Yep, membership director.
Membership director. So tell me a little about your little journey with that and how that is. And I'm again, that's stepping up, being a part, and just moving. Just keep going.
That's a great question. Wasn't expecting that one. I'll say that for sure. So there's multiple things, both personal and professional, that came into it. So seeing so many of our successful agents that we have at our office, and not just even our office, outside of our office,
and not
just agents. We're just whether you're in real estate, you could be in the lending, inspector, you can
title,
roofing, landscaping,
all of those things.
Yeah, you can still be in this organization and still help the movement and the vision, which I'm completely on board of. So being Hispanic myself, I've seen the struggles that a lot of Hispanics have gone through, whether it's my parents personally, whether it's family members, or just obviously friends of friends, and the list can go on.
Right.
To be able to be an advocate for Hispanic home ownership, and to raise awareness and provide education, that's a huge blessing. And so if that's the way that I can give back, I'm big on giving back.
Yep.
Big on serving. So if that's the smallest thing that I can do to give back, I'll be more than happy to do that. Obviously, being a membership director is it's a blessing. I went in because it was brought to my attention, like, hey, I think this will be a good organization for you to be a part of. Chris, for example, supports the organization.
Yep. Big time.
Big time, like both financially, being there present. The moment you've asked him to speak, he'll clear his schedule. Like, hey, I don't know what's going on my schedule. No matter what, I'll be at that event. Yeah. I know you've been a part of leadership in that organization as well too. So I wasn't expecting to be in a director role anytime soon, because I just got into the industry, but
it happens.
But if you have the right passion, if you have the right heart, and that determination, then
that's what I'm saying. It's seen, it's noticed. So it does, and it does present itself because you show up, and that's the key. Show up. Good things happen. They just do. Yeah. And so, I mean, I can attest to that for everything I've done in this industry and why I've been or what I've done. It's just like, I'm here. What I do is because it's just by the grace of God, because I just keep going. I just move, and sometimes I never know. I may think in my mind, I have a vision of where I want to be. And maybe sometimes I'm not verbally speaking it, but I know, because I have the conversation, what I'm saying? I got my direct, and things happen just because I keep going. Right. And I don't sit there and do a whole lot of questioning of things. I'm just grateful. And it's like, okay, what's next?
Yeah.
What do you want me to do? Because I'll do it. And again, it comes from that servant's heart. So like I said, that'll be, that installation will be next week. Again, by the time this stills, you will already have that position. We're excited. I'll be
next Wednesday. Time flies. I'll definitely say that, and I look forward to helping others become members so they can help with this vision as well too. And I take this role. I don't take it for granted. I take it very seriously.
Right.
Obviously, the organization doesn't grow without member retention and new members as well too. So I've been definitely given a tough task, but nonetheless, I'm not afraid of a challenge. So
exactly.
I look forward to it. I'm honored to even be on the cabinet for our president for this upcoming year, Olga, who's one of our agents as well too. So
and my business partner with Powerhouse Property Group, love her, and I'll be having her on here as well after the installation and everything too. She'll be, it's when it'll also show. So yeah, I'm very excited for both of y'all. I just love to see things happening for people. And that's just that's who I've always been. if I'm always in the background helping and talking or uplifting, encouraging, because that's what this whole platform of this it is what it is that's what I look at. That I want to uplift, I want to encourage.
Yeah.
I want people to realize that whatever it is you're showing up, it doesn't matter, and it's okay wherever you're at in this industry right now. It's okay if you are here and you've only sold 5 homes each year. It's okay. Maybe that's just where you're at.
Yeah.
You don't know what's going to, but you have to be available. You have to be open to say, I'm okay with that, and let's see where I'm going to land.
I completely agree. I think you have to, just be patient. You got to trust. I would say this: trust God's timing.
Yep.
Your timing may not be lined up with His. So
exactly.
Timelines will be very different, but when it presents itself, that's when you'll be ready for it.
Yes.
You've been patient enough. You've built up the knowledge that you need to, and things of that nature. And even like you said, behind the scenes, that's actually what first year. With NARP, that's what I was doing, just being behind the scenes, learning about the organization, plugging myself into committees here and there. Yeah. And it's just the amount of knowledge, it's so much wealth in itself that I learned, the connections that you get out of it. Yeah. It was so amazing. It was definitely rewarding. I definitely do not regret at all ever accepting that invitation at all.
Good.
And then I'll be even when I move from roles to roles, and there's to a point where I can no longer be as a director. I will still be in this organization in some way, shape, or form.
You'll probably be like Olga one day. He'll be a president one day, like Charles was, like Veronica was. You'll probably be a president one day. Just keep doing it. You just like you said, just don't know what's going to happen.
It's funny you say that. I think I can't remember if it was yesterday or Tuesday. Can't remember, but Olga literally said that.
Oh, did she?
She did. And even our past president, Francisco, asked me if I ever would consider that. But no, we were just talking. She came up to me. She was like, "Hey, are you excited for next week?" I'm like, "I'm excited." And she's like, "Oh no, I need more energy." I was like, "Well, hey, the thing is that I played sports, so I'm used to and with these car events and racing, I'm used to. I'm like, my adrenaline is usually I seek adrenaline, right? So in this situation, I'm like, I'm chilled right now, and she's like, "Oh well, since your pulse is calm and you should be the next president. You won't freeze
You'll
up.
Be perfect.
Yeah, you won't freeze up in front of people." And I'm just like, "Oh no, give me time. I need to learn more.
And like you said, in God's time, and then it'll happen. And what's supposed to be will be.
Yeah, no, for sure.
So that's so exciting. Well, do you have any last things you want to say that you'd like to, or hear anything you want to add? Whatever.
I would say that I'm very proud of you.
Aww.
I would say that. I would say you're amazing.
I
want to take the opportunity. I'll tell you this before, but I would say it now that I have a microphone here and this is a different platform. Again, not everybody knows the conversations that we have behind the scenes, right? But I'm definitely proud of you, Brenda. You're amazing. A lot of your mentees speak greatly of you. I see it because I'm there and I see when you come into the office. I see the phone calls. I hear the phone calls you have. Haha, another one right there.
That's my daughter FaceTiming me. She doesn't know where I'm at, so she's calling me.
Oh yeah, well, that's a good daughter. Check on you. Yes. And I'm happy that and proud of you for getting back to your passion, radio. So I'm grateful. I do not take this platform that you have here for granted. So thank you for having me. Yeah. I hope I could be welcome. Back.
Absolutely.
In the future.
And I pray that God's going to use this and do something good with it. I'm not sure where we're going with it, but everything starts. And you hear that? Just start. Whatever you think, just start. Because if you don't start and take those steps, you'll never know what you're going to do or where it's going to go. So, I get ideas. I have things that we kind of want to toss around and figure out how we want to make things happen. So just in time.
No, I agree. I agree. I would say that whenever, no, absolutely, you're welcome. I think I strongly believe that whenever you're given an opportunity to give honor, when honor is due, give that. So, I honor you. Say the same for Chris, Jen, both Chris, Sears and Brooks, my mentors, business partners. So yeah, I'm forever thankful. I guess, I don't know, shout out my mom, my dad, because if it wasn't for them, I actually wouldn't be in this business. My dad actually paid for my license. He surprised me.
Thanks, Dad. Yeah, he did good. And Mom, thanks for getting him to go to college.
Yeah, so I'm forever grateful. I love giving honor when honor is due. So, awesome. And that's when I say just I'll leave with saying to have a servant heart, and
Yep.
whatever's meant for you will
come to
will
fruition.
come
Yep.
exactly
Absolutely.
at his timing, not yours.
Exactly. Well, thank you so much for coming in. I really appreciate you taking the drive in.
Thanks, Brian.
Means a lot to me as well. And you folks out there, again, you can catch this right here on YouTube. Is it called YouTube? Yeah, it is. Our YouTube channel, Powerhouse Property Group. Look it up. That's where you'll find me. Also, if you listen on Spotify, look for It Is What It Is with Brenda Ringe. That's Ringe, as well as on Apple Podcast. So just folks, have a great week. I bring out a new video every Thursday. So we put out one today. There will be another one next Thursday. Be looking for this. Like I said, in the coming weeks, we have some other people that'll be coming through. But we just want to thank Herman for coming in today. And you guys, hey, take care and be blessed.